By May 1940, Hitler has taken Austria by Anschluss, Czechoslovakia by demand, and Poland by blitzkrieg. The world is to learn more about this word blitzkrieg. It's Hitler's version of lightning war, an attack mounted with motorized infantry, fast-moving heavy guns and tanks, and sudden death from the sky. It brought Poland to her knees in less than 4 weeks. Now in 1940, Hitler is ready to turn his blitzkrieg on the West. New targets: Holland, Belgium, France, and then across the channel to England. Before England, though, he must defeat not only the armies of the continent, but an expeditionary force of 250,000 men stationed in France. Defeat or capture of these tough professional soldiers will mean the end of the British Army, and probably of England too. Hitler orders the lightning to strike. The German battle plan, called Plan Yellow, is in fact a two-pronged attack to seal off the French First Army, the British Expeditionary Force, and the Belgian Army. And one of the panzers is Tank Commander Walter Hess.
We are advancing fast and have no casualties. We feel on top of the world. Everything together is like a tonic, like intoxication. I'm aware of the superiority of the German army technically as a combat unit, and also in our training and morale. Soon we contact Belgian troops. The Belgians are only a little nation, and we care nothing for fighting them. Only with the French and English we want to fight.
The British Expeditionary Force reacts swiftly to this German invasion, moves east to meet it the same day. One of the British soldiers is James Halstead.
We're heading towards Lille and into the general area of the Albert Canal. We meet with most welcome arms. It's Vive l'Anglaise. They figure you to be a savior. Of course, we are close. During the First War, we've been close for hundreds of years, and we're welcome now. The first couple of days in Belgium, things are all right. Your rations are pretty good. There is quite a bit of living off the land. We're living pretty well, but eventually it gets to be a bit of a stinker. Stukas and Messerschmitts. They have command of the skies. This Stuka is quite a formidable weapon. It is scary more than anything else. They've got screamers on the wing fins and on the bombs, and the sound really shakes you.
3 days after the invasion, on the 13th, Rommel, now deep into Belgium, takes his 7th Panzer Division across the River Meuse. By the 14th, Holland is crushed. Lightning has struck. Rommel is able to write, "The way to the west is open."
When you see the Belgian and Dutch armies get sliced up so quickly, and the French armies, and even the British Expeditionary Force ruined by this terrific onslaught of tanks and planes, you figure you're going to lose a battle, but not a war. You get a feeling, it is a typical British feeling, that we'll bumble through somehow.
British forces, under Lord Gort, begin to fall back toward the Channel ports. What began as a small hole in the French line has widened dangerously into a 50-mile breach.
Nobody for sure can say he enjoys warring, but this first encounter with the English troops is for us a satisfaction. I'm sure that this war in the West will end shortly in victory.
Days after invasion, the German drive to the sea is complete.
We reached the Channel and see Dover. Most of my friends had the desire to put all the divisions in a boat and end up in England.
Along with the retreating armies and the advancing armies comes still another, the Army of the Homeless. With Boulogne surrounded, with Calais besieged, von Rundstedt orders his panzers to a halt. The advance is costing too much in armor.
When you are 2 weeks between baths and you are riding in a hot panzer, you get to smell like a tiger.
May 27th, von Rundstedt orders his panzers back into battle. Launches the biggest attack of the campaign.
We start hearing a lot about Dunkirk. By this time, the word Dunkirk has become a big word. This is where you have to be, Dunkirk. Everybody is heading for Dunkirk. It is a kind of a magnet to all.
With the German pincers closing from both east and west, and with the ocean behind them, the British consider a last resort, a full-scale evacuation from the French Channel ports.
On the way to Dunkirk, I served with practically every outfit in the British Army at one time or another. But that's what they're paying me for, a shilling or 2 shillings a day.
May 27th, 1940. With the German pincers only 10 miles apart, the bulk of the British force and part of the French First Army escaped through a narrow aisle into the pocket around Dunkirk. A defense perimeter is established at the line of canals around the port city.
You still have small arms, grenades, rifles, and Bren gun, and the old Vickers machine gun that was used in the First World War.
On all sides of the pocket, the battle to hold the perimeters around Dunkirk rages furiously. Dunkirk is held in a death grip. The fight moves from street to street. If it is to be taken, it will be taken one house at a time. battle for Dunkirk is no longer a battle of large armies in the field. It's a battle of small groups, desperate, trapped men. May 28th, with German leading tanks within sight of Dunkirk, they are again called to a halt.
We are surprised when we are halted so suddenly. There's no explanation. The English are literally running away, throwing away their guns. Ahead of us, we see smoking and burning Dunkirk.
Von Rundstedt finally orders his panzers out for good, heads them south for Paris. But the Battle of Dunkirk is far from over. Operation Dynamo is underway. But from the beginning, it seems doomed to failure. The first ships to survive the minefields, the torpedoes, and the Luftwaffe on the way across the channel now find themselves under the German guns at Calais. Once inside of Dunkirk, the big ships discover they are too big for its shallow waters. They can't get in close enough to take the men off. Only 7,000 make it out the first day. On the 29th, the ships are using a new approach to Dunkirk. They escape the shelling only to be bombed and strafed by the Luftwaffe. Troops make it out on the 29th. Late afternoon, a signal goes out from the beaches. Dunkirk harbor blocked by damaged ships. All evacuation must be from the beaches. But in this one day, 3 destroyers have been sunk, 6 badly damaged. The Admiralty, alarmed by the loss, suddenly orders all new class destroyers withdrawn. Without them, Operation Dynamo is in trouble.
I belong to the so-called Ghost Division, a name given us by the French. We keep popping up so unexpectedly that they give us a name, the Ghost Division.
On the morning of the 30th, an urgent telephone call goes to the British War Ministry. Perimeter cannot be held for long. Send as many boats and as much ammunition as possible. By May 30th, all of the British Expeditionary Force and the remnants of the French First Army are now compressed into a corner of beach 24 miles long, 6 miles wide. From across the channel, the strangest fleet in naval history begins to materialize. From the weekend yachts of the wealthy to the grimy working tugs of London, everything that can float is pressed into service. Neither that nor the news of disaster holds them back. On the contrary, the naval records will show that many yachts, although warned they are too slow, start out against orders and have to be turned back by the Navy.
They get in everything together, everything they can lay their hands on. And then you look out there and see what you consider to be rowboats. And this is it. This is the way you get back to England.
If the day belongs to anyone, it belongs to the little boats. Frenchmen, too, thronging the beaches, Churchill orders them given an equal opportunity for evacuation. By the 31st, 200,000 men have been lifted. June 1st, in a last-ditch effort to stop the evacuation, the Germans go all out. Throw everything they have at them. By the end of the day, 31 ships have been sunk, 11 badly damaged. The Germans are within 4 miles of the beach. But still the ships come. There are men yet to be saved.
I get on 2 boats and get put off for stretcher cases. The 3rd time I make it, I'm going home on a minesweeper. We are shoved into every part of that boat except the bridge and the engine room. Every bit of space is used. Wherever you look, you see people. Some of the guys get lucky on the destroyers and they get fed. Cocoa, hot drinks and everything. Not that anybody really cared, we just wanted to get the hell out of there. The weather is beautiful. It's a blessing. And in England, there will be fruit on the trees.
At 11:30 p.m., June 2nd, Dunkirk signals, British Expeditionary Force evacuated. At 9 the morning of June 3rd, Dunkirk surrenders. 40,000 troops, mostly French, and including the brave men of the fighting rear guard, are left behind. This is the tragedy of Dunkirk. After Dunkirk, Walter Hess moves south for the occupation of Paris, later fights in Africa where Rommel awards him the Iron Cross. James Halstead returns with his unit to Scotland for the Battle of Britain. Later he too fights in Africa, wins the North Africa Star, and ends the war as a sergeant. Churchill reminds his countrymen and the world that wars are not won by evacuations. Still, a fighting army had been snatched from the ruins of Dunkirk by the miracle of the small boats. 338,000 men were free to fight again. This was the triumph of Dunkirk.